So, good evening. We are back to one, if not the final. I don't think it's going to be the final, but one of the final episodes of our long-running campaign. 17 episodes, I think. Maybe even 18. Of Conan, Sorcerer. No, Shadow of the Sorcerer, not the other way around. Shadow of the Sorcerer. We are in Stygia. Who wants to tell me us where we are and why we are here? In the realm of the Serpent King. Go on. Silence.
Don't all speak at once.
We're waiting.
Right.
We are travelling towards the Valley of Set, seeking out Turia. I guess that's the reason why we're probably heading here, aren't we?
Tura? Mm-hmm.
She's the one who's told us that she's in this area. So we are venturing there across the desert. We've met a friendly group of nomads who we've helped save a couple of their fighters from some soldiers of Stygia. And we have befriended them, and we are now travelling with them, the company, maybe protecting them as well. Maybe they're protecting us by their numbers. And we're all heading in the same direction because I think they think that this valley may be a place that they could actually take over and settle in.
Not so much settle, but they are potentially interested in robbing the expedition that's there. Taking some stuff off them. Because there are supply trains going from the nearest city to this place on a regular basis.
Doing some tomb raiding.
Yeah, well, wouldn't call it that, of course. That's uncouth.
Obviously, unfortunately, there was a sandstorm that's just happened, and we got caught up in it, and we were dragged down into the sand, and managed to fight our way to freedom by sort of cutting at this sand because it felt like something was almost living within it. Only to find out that when we managed to save ourselves, the Eye of Acheron has been lost again.
Ah, that gem that has been your bane, your curse, since you touched it.
The thing we've been hunting down and following and chasing and carrying with us for the whole campaign.
Yeah.
And we had figured out that this moom, that is a storm, was caused by sorcerers of the Black Ring Cabal. So, and various numbers of possible Kabbalists were mentioned.
Yes.
And one in particular, Serothos.
Yes, Serothos. Yeah.
He was mentioned as the person who seems to be staffing this expedition to the Valley of Kings, the Valley of Set, to try and excavate something. And you had a theory what he might be excavating. Which tomb?
Tomb of Tothaman.
Xhsosath. Yeah.
Thoth.
I could really have chosen a name slightly easier to pronounce than Xhsosath. But okay, fair enough. Sounds quite evil, doesn't it? So I'll show you a few pictures just to get you into the mood here a little bit. And for that, I might just change my screen layout briefly. So you can see them properly. So this one here, show it. That was Hakuf, the Black Vulture.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Bandit King, if you like.
Yeah. Kind of like Robin Hood.
Yeah, but more Arab. More Stygian.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Desert Stygian. Yeah, and I don't think he's wearing tights.
He's not got a bow in his back.
Just saying.
So that German humor.
And in the background here, you had the what is it called? Oasis, basically where you had stopped over and where the storm happened. So we're in the aftermath of the storm. So just briefly before we go into the storm, under the Twitch stream, you should be able to see a little donation button. Because in March, I'm trying to raise a little bit of money for a charity. I have not put any QR codes on this overlay or anything like this time because we're almost at the end of March. But there's definitely a button down there. So if you are interested in shipping some money into charity, this is for a very, very worthwhile cause out in Germany at the Uniklinik in Lübeck. And I'm going to put that in the chat, a little bit of information on here. If you want to know more, ask. there's two ways. One is a link in the chat, or you can just donate straight via Twitch if you prefer. That's going to run differently, straight to the charity rather than to my through my account, if that makes sense. But any money is welcome for the good cause. So,
and if I may,
Yeah.
I just want to say that my daughter was in the IWK, which is in Halifax. I'm from Canada, and it cost my wife and I a fortune to stay and be with her over a 4-year period back and forth. And so it really is important. And I just literally found out this week that somebody at work has a daughter who's in the hospital in what is our equivalent to Lubeck. And so please consider this, because it does really affect people's lives, and the children need their parents close. So,
Indeed. And just to explain a bit more than that case, it's basically providing accommodation on the university site for parents to stay over if their kids are there for a longer time, especially, so that the parents don't have to worry about, oh, where can I get a hotel room? How can I commute back and forth all the time? So it is definitely a haven, a home, and because it's also looked after, this sort of distressing situation can be dealt with a little bit better because you're a member of a community rather than sitting by yourself in a hotel room somewhere. So, let's get back to this community. The storm is abating. You have been basically battered and bruised, and you have been sandpapered and had a nice peeling. You saw some of Hakuf's people being dragged under in the sand as well. And there's a great dismay in the camp. Some of the animals, some of them have died, some people have disappeared, some of the tents have been torn over, belongings scattered. People are really, really angry. So you pick yourself back up, and Hakuf comes towards you and says, "What was that? That was not a normal storm."
Terrible, wasn't it?
it had to be one of the sorcerers.
One of the sorcerers? The sorcerers who are going to the Valley of Set?
Yes.
But why would they attack you?
Our presence here is why.
I shall
Maybe they
revenge my
noticed
people.
that we are on their tail.
Sorry? Say again.
No, it's on. You hear me?
Yeah, I talked.
Yeah,
I just talked over
yeah.
you.
All right.
Yeah.
No, maybe they just noticed that we are in the vicinity, that we follow them.
This was mighty magic. It was not just a, oh, stop following us.
We were targeted. We were, unfortunately, that we were with you. Did you lose many people?
We lost 5 of our number. I will avenge them. So we will come with you to the valley. We will lead you the way. And if we can help you with sword or horse or camel, then we will.
We will avenge your people as well.
We appreciate your assistance.
Yeah. It will not be an easy fight, I think, but we cannot leave this unanswered. With that, have you got any wounds to lick, you lot?
Nope. I'm back tomorrow.
We will recover anything, won't we, unless we took
Yeah.
wounds.
You didn't get any wounds, so everything else will be recovered. And the sun is slowly coming up, so you need to make some plans.
How far away is it? Do we believe?
It's about... It depends how you get through. If there's more storm, it can take forever. But you reckon that if you just get there in a straight line without any further hold-ups, you should be there by evening.
I mean, they already know that we are here, so I don't think there's much point in trying to stay hidden.
I think that they'll anticipate that we will come after them, because we'll want to recover what we have lost.
Maybe we should rush then. Give them less time to prepare. They may know we're
Yeah.
coming, but
Yeah.
quicker we get there, they may be surprised they're earlier than they think.
once there, maybe we can stage a nighttime attack.
Mhm.
If it's gonna be evening once we're there, it would kind of fit in.
Yeah, this travel plan of arriving there in the evening would actually include a longish rest, like 3 hours or so, over the hottest time of the day. So you wouldn't be traveling during that time. If you wanted to travel during that time, that could be a feat of endurance, but it might also tire you out before you get there.
Yeah.
Well, could be worth a gamble. Well, now we're all awake. Why don't we set off straight away?
Before the sun hits.
Very
Then
well.
we could maybe have a break in the middle of the day when the sun's at its hottest.
They leave some people behind. Yeah, they take the warriors rather than all the others. And they say, okay, pack food only for 2 days. Nothing, no more than that. We need to be able to travel light. Only take 1 weapon each, etc., etc. And they are ready relatively swiftly. And so are you. So you can set off, if you like, before the sun is fully up.
Yeah,
let's
sure.
do it.
Yep.
Harkuf knows the route, and so does your other guide, who you're still employing, I guess, unless you send him home.
I mean,
No,
we
he's
already
he's with us.
paid him for the entire trip, so
You
Yeah,
better let him
here.
go.
We're getting our
Stays
money's
for
worth.
the entire trip. Yeah.
JR,
Yeah.
what were you saying?
No, that we're gonna get our money's worth.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay, so you gallop, no, not quite gallop, but you make your relatively swift way across the desert. At lunchtime, you break for a little while, and you have a chance to have a chat, have a talk between yourselves. If you want to make any other plans or reflect on what you're about to embark on.
And I guess the plan making comes after we've seen the enemy's encampments.
Do we want to send a scouting party ahead of the main group?
I mean, how
Smaller
many
group.
are we in this group to begin with?
6.
You lot, plus the guide, plus Hakuf, plus, let's say, 20 people.
Oh, okay. So we're a good number.
So we
Okay.
have like 15-ish warriors with us.
Yeah.
No,
They-
they're all fighters in the sense that they can fight. They're different
Okay.
ages, different genders, etc. But these are the people who
So
sit there
we're
ready
not
to fight.
talking the seasoned veterans. We are talking everybody that's able to hold a sword is.
They are
with us.
riled up. So
Yeah.
it wasn't just the seasoned veterans to say, okay, let's go with 5 of you.
But then
People
again,
who-
we know that the enemy only has like 12 guards, if I remember correctly.
If your scout was
Uh,
right.
Yeah.
If your scouting report was correct.
But then we also have at least a sorcerer that we're going to need to deal with who's fairly powerful and can gather up storms. I guess I turn to Mortaz and I say to him, how strong would a sorcerer need to be? How many years of study compared to yourself would they need to be able to produce such a violent, not only storm, but something that can actually grab something off of my person, something specific?
I've probably studied sorcery for a long time, sacrificed who knows what, but I don't know what powers they use. It must be something, far beyond my understanding.
Would this be some type of blood magic?
Who's to say? I mean, it could be.
I mean,
If we could take
sorcery
out the
always
sorcerer
comes
first,
top.
it might be best to turn the tide of battle.
Durzo?
I was just mentioning sorcery always comes at a cost, so. And Stygians sacrificing people for their magic isn't anything new.
It's very common.
But the ancient Stygians have been essentially part of our journey since the very beginning. And I guess at this point, I really don't understand what our final objective is now that we're here and not going back and forth in the dream world.
I mean, the final objective is just to be here. If we are to believe the... Was it a prophecy? No, it was just a... How do you call that? Instructions?
Yeah, sort of instructions. Now, I can interject if you want me to. Summing
Sure.
up what I've told you before. But I just feel like I keep doing that. So basically, Vangele and the old Antaeus both told you basically that you had an important role to play. That one of the things was that if you wanted to defeat this Xhsosath guy once and forever, you needed him to be essentially returned to his physical form. His soul is in this gem. Yeah, or was in this gem. Actually, it is in the gem, but the soul was condemned. So as soon as the gem basically, as the soul would have come out, he would have been dragged into the realm of the dead. Because he was judged, basically. He was to be judged. But he faced judgment. You were there. And he was not, I wouldn't say acquitted, but he made a bargain with the judges of death for his own soul. So that he didn't have this, let's just call it a bit silly, arrest warrant on him anymore. So that he could be free in the world. If he only could return to his body. But the idea was, don't leave it for somebody else. Don't take this gem and sink it in the deepest oceans or whatever. He will just come back. So you need to be there when he gets reunited with his real form, so he can be defeated. He can be defeated once and for all.
Was he going to go into the body of Metekre? For some reason, I had it in my head that
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. That there was like something with the blood of an heir.
There was something with the blood of an heir. The blood of an heir was basically part of the bargain. So he wasn't going into the body, but instead, basically that was the deal he made. He needed to have royal blood as part of the deal. He needed to sacrifice that or offer that to the judges. So he didn't take over their body as such.
But the only heir that's left now is Hekret.
Actually, I think I did say in the judgment hall that he walked out in the body of somebody
and
else.
And Hekret isn't Stygian.
Yeah.
Not Hekret, Semakit.
Yeah.
No, but I'm thinking of the woman. I'm thinking of the one who got away.
But she's in Stygian. She doesn't. No. She plays no part anymore.
She's not Stygian.
Okay.
She was not royal blood.
Unless
she might still be playing a role.
Maybe she comes along with her snake people.
She has disappeared.
Yeah. And we had the guy who died with with snake bites on his neck.
Yeah.
That was the captain. Yeah.
Of
the Bahari. Can I remember his name? No, I can't. But the big, burly, pirate captain. And his daughter took over. But anyway, that's another story.
Wasn't it?
That was filler.
Ben Stiller?
No, Gar was the captain of the other ship.
Yeah, Gar was the other. That was the Calypso. Yeah. As I said, I can look it up if you want me to, but I don't.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
So there are a couple of loose ends. One of them is Hekret. Yeah, one of the loose ends is definitely Hekret because she just evaporated essentially.
Yeah.
So you never know. She might have snuck on board of the ship. She might be hiding in a saddlebag. You don't know. As a slithery little snake.
Now there was also the sorceress who dropped the wand that Mortaz has.
The sorceress on board the ship.
Remember the sorceress on the ship?
The Weather Witch,
and she fell into the sea.
Yeah.
But we never found her body.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't found a great many bodies, so
that's true.
You have also scattered a great many bodies here and there.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess we have a lot of things to discover.
You do. So, Mortaz, you know a lot about history, don't you? And about law. The Valley of Set. If you give me, let's just say, make it a difficulty 1 law roll. I would be very happy to spout a little bit of background to you, just to set the scene a bit more and give you some. That's great. You even have 3 successes, so that gets you 2 momentum to start of the day. So, the great kings, queens, and actually high priests are said lie entombed in this valley. How far back these dynasties go, no one is quite sure, but the most powerful of these departed royals lie ensconced in the great pyramids that you've heard of. You've never seen them, but you've heard of them. The construction of Xhsosath's pyramid, the current king, is currently underway. Has been going for at least 15 years, since he ascended to the throne. Burials occur quite regularly here, all according to some secret map or plan or something that only the priests know. Otherwise, the valley looks mainly like scrubland, from what you've read, a few palms here and there, grass, sand, but nondescript. There's apparently a moment at the summer solstice when twin obelisks catch the sun between them. As legend says, that is basically Set and his mate. They basically were caught there. They met there, these pillars, before time began. The further history of that story is known only to the highest caste of the priests and wizards, and no sane person would seek to learn more. Hint, hint. The sight of the sun descending between the waiting obelisk is a popular holiday, apparently, and visible from some distance away. All manner of secret rites are ascribed to the actual location of the stones as the sun reaches a specific point. But none who witness it ever speak of it, or write of it. Of the detail, I mean. So, just a little bit of scene setting. You are coming across this plain, and you can see that there's a hilly mountain range in front of you and a valley entry, quite wide valley entry. You can see some tracks, and your guide points to it and says, that one there, that's the caravan road. That's where all the expeditions come. Be mindful, this road is watched.
I'll scan in the horizon for anything out of the ordinary, any movement, any groups, any areas where someone may be lying in wait for ambush.
Okay. An observation test, and let's call it an opposed roll, so I'm not going to tell you how difficult it's going to be.
Yeah, so I've got something called Scout, so when I scan a new environment, I gain a bonus momentum that I can be used only on obtain extra information.
Yeah, ask an extra question.
Yeah, okay.
My tea light has gone out as well, so I have to drink my tea double quick so it doesn't get cold. Tragedy. Ooh, nice.
I know. Same situation.
Okay, so therefore I've got 2 momentum, in fact, so a bonus one. So, well, I suppose I've already asked my question around. I'm looking for ambush points, anything that looks a little bit out of the ordinary, where someone could be lying in wait, or where the caravan road goes close to an ambush point.
All right, let me have a look. How many did you have? Success? You had 2 momentum.
I gained an extra
bonus,
momentum,
which is 3 momentum.
Yeah.
So you have more momentum than I do. You think that close to the valley entrance, there's basically a guard post.
Mm-hmm.
Seem to be, with your eagle eyes, you see it from the distance. There seemed to be a fire somewhere close to a temporary structure of some sort. It looks like a little watchtower or guard post. So indeed, that way is watched. And once you're actually on this road, you would be out on the plain. It would be easy to see. But currently, you're off in the dunes.
So they're going to see us coming from a long way away.
Yeah. Now, you had a rest in the middle of the day, so we are still at sort of dusk now, aren't we?
Mm.
Yeah.
So we could hold off and wait until it's got dark.
The sun is actually still on the horizon in the west. Yeah. Quite low.
So do we want to do that? Do we want to wait till dark and then travel across to this last bit of plain? Because then we could potentially get to this guard post. Or as a second alternative, do we want to go as a small kind of scouting group before the larger group and deal with any guards out there?
Mm. You hear a couple of the nomads, let's call them that, or the rebels, or the fighters, mumble between them, and one of them talks to Haku, who then comes to you and says, there is a side entrance. There's a little valley further to the east that comes down into the valley of the king. So that might be a better route for you.
Perfect.
You had how many successes just now in your observation?
So I got 2 successes,
So
of
that
which
meant
one I
one
used for the
momentum
extra.
and 1 bonus momentum.
Yeah, so I got
Have you
2
banked that
momentum.
momentum?
I haven't banked it yet, no, because I used 1 to gain the extra information, so I've got 1 momentum left.
If you give me that one, I'll give you some more extra information.
Yeah, okay. You can have it then. I won't bank it.
Your view scans the horizon from where you were looking to the entrance of the valley, but you're swinging around now. And far off in the west, just where the sun is setting, you see dust clouds coming up.
Dust clouds of maybe approaching group. I'll point out to the others. Look, see over there. Just in the distance, you can see those clouds, dust clouds. Maybe something's approaching.
They're just catching the sunlight. The sun's close to the horizon, so it's like a beautiful reddish sparkle almost. But there's definitely something moving. You cannot make out any detail. But your guide looks and says, that seems to be a big group. It's not just a small caravan moving at speed.
We should take cover. We should set up our own ambush if they're coming our way and they're looking for trouble. At least we're prepared.
You reckon they're at least a couple of hours away.
Okay, well, maybe we should.
They move, but
Could we set maybe traps for them as they come along this way?
Do we split the group in that some of us stealth, as Krius has been saying, but then at the same time, us as a group with maybe a Koof and our guide could go ahead, leaving the warriors behind to take out this group as we go forward through this side entrance?
I like the idea of us going as a small group of ourselves rather than have this big horde of fighters with us.
Yeah. Maybe they could, just set the ambush. Because if we're in the entry of the valley, then I assume it's like a gorge of some kind.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
That's
they
a good
could
plan,
set an
actually.
ambush here.
So you're reckoning that Harkuf's people could set the ambush?
Yes.
Yeah.
To at least delay them, if nothing else.
Go through the secret tunnel or entrance, what it is, and basically circumvent the watchtower.
Mortez, how does that sound?
Sounds good. You should. Are we all like as a group of 4 going separately, or?
Well, we are 5 with our guide.
Yeah, 5 with the guide.
And 6 with a Koof if he joins us.
No.
Do you think he'll join us or stay with his men? Yeah.
His instinct would be to stay with his man. If you wanted him along, you would have to convince him. Your guide is called Abraku, if you remember. I'll just put his name again.
Yeah. Do you think we need him? I mean, I could easily convince him that we need him because the revenge may be ahead of us and not behind us.
I mean, sure, but then the question is, do we need him? Like, do we need him to find the secret entrance?
Braku knows what the secret entrance is. At least he says so.
In this case, let him just stay with his friends.
If he's safer here.
Yeah. Okay.
Safe here. All right.
All right. So you make your way to the secret entrance. Now I can share a map with you. Just separate a little bit player and character knowledge when I show you that map, okay? So I'm not quite sure. I think it's safe to see for you, but I think there might be 1 or 2 labels which talk about secret entrances. But you know where the secret entrance is. You're taking it.
Yeah.
So here it is. So there's a rough map of it, and I'll show you the scene for it in a minute.
Where are these obelisks, if I may ask?
They're described in the book, but they're not shown on the map.
Okay.
I will say that they are on the eastern end of the valley.
Are they the statues, the big statues?
No, they're not meant to be. They're meant to catch the sun,
like
so they
the
must be on the hill.
pyramids could be the obelisks, but they would be way too big.
I'm going to say that they are basically on the eastern edge of the map. because they are supposed to catch the sun between them. And there's a temple entrance with a couple of pillars, but again, that doesn't point in the right direction. So,
can I get that? There. That's an obelisk.
Yes.
It has like a cap, and it's quite tall.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, we've seen them.
Top down, it looks like a small pyramid.
The top does, yeah.
The top does, yeah.
Yeah, they're pyramid, yeah.
But it's thin. It rises up in
Yeah.
order for the sun, and it also is like I guess it would
But
be the equivalent of a steeple or something like that.
if
The sun
you
is
look at
supposed to
the
raise
end-
between the two of them, so it must be somewhere where the eastern
If you look at
horizon
those
is.
that set of stairs, are they two obelisks either side?
No, they're just pillars.
Okay.
Don't overinterpret this map.
Okay.
The other thing was
Okay.
This is a
mood,
recurring
not
theme with
detail.
maps in this book.
Yeah.
Lacking the detail.
There's actually the description is also interesting. The Valley of Set, it says, is described in Conan the Adventurer. So I went to Conan the Adventurer and retrieved the full description from there. So
Okay.
it's not directly there. But yeah, you come in, you sneak around the top there. It is quite out of eyesight from the bottom of the valley. So yeah, you're good. You can make that, but you need to leave your mounts behind. Yeah?
Yeah.
And basically, as you walk around the valley, you can see these pyramids here. You can see some big statues, and you can see where B is on the map. Sorry, I should show those briefly in the stream at least. Where B is on the map, you see that something has been dug up and dug out. And right next to it, there seems to be a hole dug into the side of the mountain. And you assume somehow, through divine clues, that must be the entrance to Xhsosath's tomb.
Is there any movement around at all?
There is movement around, yes. There are people moving around. Interestingly enough, most of the diggers basically have stopped working because the sun is setting. So there's a camp, and I'm going to just say that the camp is between the temple, the pillared entrance, and the bottom left three pyramids. So it's going to be about around there somewhere. I could ping on it if it was a map, but it isn't a map. Not a scene, I mean. So you have to just assume, yeah?
It's between A and B.
It's between A and
right?
B, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
It's between A and B. There's a tent encampment. Oh gosh.
Is it
Yep.
obvious? Whose tent is the sorcerer's one?
Oh, there's one bigger tent in the middle. It doesn't say sorcerer lives here, but you reckon that must be it. So I hope you can see this scene. I haven't
Yes.
lighting. So that's our scene.
So are we talking about the larger one being closer to A or above C?
I have to open the map again.
Well, it's open for us.
For you, yes.
Yes, not for the people watching.
It is actually quite close to that big pyramid, to the first one you would come from. If you ventured from B to A, the first pyramid you come to, that next to that is the tent. Sort of between the statue and that first pyramid.
Okay.
Should we maybe try to assassinate the sorcerers? Or the sorcerer? I don't know if there are a multitude of them.
If it goes wrong, we're out in the open, aren't we? It's the problem.
Sure, but we will end up out in the open if we fight them anyway. So it could be worth a shot.
Could be.
The people who are moving around, they're the ones who are the workers. They're gathering up their tools. They're going back to their tent. They're going to have whatever their evening meal. There doesn't seem to be many guards.
There are not many guards. There are a couple of people looking around, but most of them seem to be doing their evening routines. Yeah, so storing stuff away, feeding some animals. There's definitely more. You think more people, more guards potentially than 12.
Why don't we pretend or disguise ourselves as the local workers to blend in, and then we can move amongst them and find out what's going on and get closer to the sorcerer's tent?
We also have the Stygian guards uniforms, do we?
Yes, we do. Yes.
Is it the same as the ones in this camp?
Yeah.
So, all right. So, could we perhaps, sorry to interrupt, but could we perhaps be like an advanced party who comes to say the group is coming? You know, go toward A to receive them.
Is language going to let us down, though?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, is that we
He also
need
speaks
Mortaz
Stygian.
to be the...
Doesn't he?
Mortaz would need to be the speaker. Or not yeah, Mortaz. Yeah.
It's an option. Definitely an option.
If I assist him, I might be able to help with persuasion.
Maybe.
Any other ideas?
I like the idea. We don't have to be guards. We could also just blend in as workers, because there's quite a lot of tents there, couldn't we? And we could at least sort of
I don't know. I've been
move
in
around
groups.
freely.
I've been in groups of 20, and it's still a pretty intimate group. If five people show up, you know, that's a quarter of their group. So I think if we don't do the uniform trick, I think your original plan of going and just sneaking and assassinating is probably the best.
Especially because I just assume that the workers all are very local looking. Let's put it like this.
Well, there's Stygians of various ilks. They're not the upper class.
Yeah.
Some of them are actually seem to be slaves, like Kushites, for example, Shemites. Yeah. So not all of them are entirely local. You might be able to get away with it.
These guys are slaves. But
the only reason,
I like Douglas' idea of just posing as the vanguard or the advanced party of the approaching group, because we know it's coming. It would make sense to send them ahead of time to announce them. And we can pose as like, we have the guard uniform, we have Mortaz as a scholar, so maybe he assists with the dig, has some new information we will come up with. Just have some variety in there.
I think a combined option might really work. If you and Mortaz and our guide come in from D, and then just all of a sudden kind of appear and say, the advanced party is, or the party is behind us. They're on their way. They're about an hour away. Come with us to receive them. You. And as they're distracted, just I'm going to say Martin and I, Krius and I, go to the tent in question where we believe, and then just do the assassinations.
You're the sneaky ones anyway, so that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, sneaky, but I'm less of an assassin than Shiva, but like you have the poison as well.
Yeah, and you're sneaky and I'm sneaky.
Yeah.
All right, then let's do it like this.
The danger we have there is that if something goes wrong, we don't have Durzo there to mop up the hordes, because he's wandered off with to draw as many out with him.
Yeah, but just at the edge of camp, so it's A, not that far, and B, the entire point of us is to draw a lot of people away from you.
And I mean, what Durzo would be drawing away would be more like a group of soldiers. That would not necessarily know, and Durzo doesn't even need to speak. Mortaz could just.
I mean, Durzo is Stygian, so he can speak normally.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, of course.
There was something.
I'm thinking, So it makes perfect sense. Who knew?
Okay. So when myself and Shiva go to the tent, and we overhear the sorcerer talking, we won't understand a word he's saying.
Sorry, say it again. That last bit. If you go close to them,
Yeah, if we go close to them, and there's some valuable information we overhear before we do our attack, we won't be able to understand it because we won't have anyone who.
oh yeah,
Neither of us speaks. Did
I
you?
mean,
That's
sure,
the
but I
danger.
think the main goal should be to just get rid of the sorcerer, and if that's not an option because, well, he's awake, and I suggest we just abort and, meet up outside of the camp at a later date.
yeah. Just the D is basically a little water run rivulet. Basically, it is not a main path people would be approaching from.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you were coming in from D and say, "Oh, we are members of the advanced party," that wouldn't match. The advanced party would come
We
from
need
A.
to go around and come from A.
And as soon as, I mean, Creus and I can just wait. If Creus sees anybody, I mean, Creus can pop them off with a bunch of arrows.
Yeah.
But we really don't want to draw attention to ourselves. We want to actually totally sneak in without any possibility of issues.
Mm.
Is there a well?
Is there? Well, no, water seems to be carried here. It doesn't actually come from here. There might be some underground somewhere, but not where you can see it.
Okay.
But there should
Sorry,
be.
I'm having a slight family drama here. Apparently, I'm using too much bandwidth, so my wife can't do her German class. So I might have to be slightly rude to anybody who's currently following on YouTube, if anybody. Dido is. Dido, do you want to hop across to Twitch? And then I might have to very briefly pause the stream and restart it. Because otherwise I'm going to get trouble.
We don't want trouble.
So
we want peace.
We want Frank
peace.
to be here for the next gaming session.
Yes, that's right. We need you to be around.
Anybody on YouTube, if you want to pop across to Twitch, I think that'll definitely help because, I can hear the tones already because my wife is asking the kids to come off their things. And that's recipe. Which renders the whole thing a moot point.
Are we still live on
We
Twitch?
should still be live, as far as I can tell. Yeah, so let me just see whether I can do that or whether I have to pause the stream briefly. Are you sure you want to end broadcast to YouTube? Yes, so hop across, Dido. Hello, there you are. Right, so now we can carry on. And I'll just let my wife know.
So first things first, we need to get our costumes looking as accurate as possible.
Yeah, you had a good number. I think you had enough for one of each of you from the soldiers you defeated.
I assume with the disguise kit. I think Chris had the disguise kit.
Yeah, so I'm a master of disguise. So if you need me to fine tune any costumes, do you want me to roll?
Tell you what, we're going to roll if you get close to somebody. So then we find out how well you've done.
That's fair. Very fair.
Yeah, then I guess the three of us, hurry and get to A-ish to approach the camp.
3 of you. Dressed as Stygian soldiers? With your mounts?
Is it possible to just go across the valley to A? Is it shorter distance, or do we have to go all the way around?
A slightly longer way around. Definitely.
Okay, well then on the way back we will, pick up the mounts we left.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it would not make sense if you arrived on foot and said we are the advanced party of the people.
No.
Yeah.
Right. So let's do that. And the others?
We're going to just wait until we see them appear over entrance A. What we probably want to do is get ourselves to a position where we can observe that entrance. So I'm happy to kind of leverage. camouflage and live in shadow to get the two of us as close as we can to see what's happening. So
You want
we
to
know.
see the entrance A, or do you
Yeah.
want to see the entrance from where? From D, basically. That's. Yeah,
I think
there's-
from D, because if we were
From D,
over
yeah, we
behind the
must see A
rocks,
from D,
should
yeah.
really have made a scene of this. But basically, you see that little valley running from D to B, and there's a little nose on the northern edge.
hmm
So if you put
Yep.
yourself there,
yeah,
you can actually have a good view to A.
yep. So across from B, we see the corner of that square. If we just look straight down, there's that little nook.
Yeah.
Okay,
Something.
How about that?
perfect.
Perfect. Okay, I'd like to hear that. Right. So, going back to my other layout here, now that we've studied the map. Right, Mortas, Derzo, and... Oh, sorry, I already forgot. Who's going to A?
Abraku.
Abraku.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Abraku,
Yeah.
yeah.
Abraku. Okay, so you are on, let's say you bought camels, didn't you? So on your camels, and you're riding up, and as you approach, you're being hailed, stopped, essentially, by a couple of soldiers coming from that little tent. They were just having their dinner, you think. Looks like it. But as they heard you approach, they step out, and they say, "Halt! Who goes there?" So, who speaketh?
Okay. Greetings. Yeah, and that just explained the whole deal that we are with the approaching group, and we were sent ahead because Mortas, like the scholar, has important information to aid the dig.
So you're now standing there at the entrance of the valley and spinning them a line.
Basically,
I do want to roll for that.
Of course you do.
I do want to roll for that. And this time you can't have 2 attacks. So
Durzo, the
I can try
social
and assist
maniac.
with that.
you
Yeah.
can probably assist with that because you're also there. Abrakus, how are they going to be quiet?
Would that be persuade, I assume?
Let me have a quick look what we can actually do to with you.
Do you?
I think it would
Oh, you
persuade.
noticed that, did you? So, there's all. Let me have a look at your character sheet here. Skills. I think persuade might be good, or intimidate is probably not the right thing, is it? And it's not in this game anyway.
I mean,
1 success contributed from Mortas.
That's excellent, actually.
You could, in theory, depending on how you speak to him, you could try on command as well.
Oh,
Oh, you have a complication.
success.
Oh, why can't I see his successes?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
strange.
didn't show his
No,
roll.
no,
So
no,
there it
no,
is.
no.
It
Yeah,
is.
that took a
Okay,
while.
now it's come up.
So you have 2 successes between you and a complication. Correct?
mhm.
I'm reading that correctly? Yeah. So let me have a look what these soldiers are like. And I say you don't just have a minion, you will have a toughened one there. Looks like that, roughly. It's on the canvas.
hmm
And it's going to be... Oh, gosh. They're not very clever in social skills, are they?
Well, we have that in common.
Well, I'm going to buy a couple. I've got lots of doom. So he looks at you. And he whispers something to the guy next to him, who shakes the head. And then he looks at you again. Who sent you? We are not expecting anybody today.
Out of character, I will have a look at my notes to check real quick for some situation. But essentially, well, we are from the Summer Cats party.
I think you mean Serothos.
No. Serothos is the one I
Is he?
assume is in the camp. I mean the Stygian prince that we killed earlier.
You do mean...
Yeah.
Okay, you mean Semek.
Yeah,
Right.
because I might have that wrong, but my understanding is that he was supposed to be here at some point.
At some point.
Or at least it sounds plausible to a grunt that a Stygian prince would come to an important dig like that.
Yeah, okay.
Hmm?
He says, wait here. And says to the other guy something you can't quite hear because he just says quietly to the side. And the other guy starts, running at a fair leg, actually. He's a messenger sort of run into the valley.
Are we alone now?
Actually, we see, yeah?
Yeah.
You see that, yes. Just about. Because the light is fading quickly, but there are a couple of torches put up along the path. Because otherwise you can't see it, and I want to make sure you can see it.
So we see this runner, and where are they running to?
They are running towards the big encampment. Yeah, if you look at the background scene, those tents there, essentially.
The ones in the foreground.
Yeah.
Big tents, yeah.
Now, this is, of course, Conan, so the pyramids are far too high and far too and stuff, but I think that this picture looked cool, so I wanted to use it.
They're pretty amazing. Yeah.
No, it's amazing. Yeah, it's awesome.
Way better than the intended map.
Yes, indeed.
You're right. This is not actually from the book. So, he runs. Does the other party want to interfere? That's really what I want to know.
I'm assuming we're too far away to interfere.
No, we're halfway.
Snipe him.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking maybe we should. Well, we either let him go.
It's just feet, so that's what.
Okay, so Mortka.
I don't know what's happening.
No, so
that's the problem.
Krius.
300 meters.
So we can't. We both don't know what's going on, but we can see somebody coming from the party, and we can see that they're waiting. So we can assume that something is being checked.
Yeah. So
and
okay.
I think that what we do is we wait until someone comes out.
Yeah.
And then, depending on the way or the urgency of how they come out, we can flank them and get them from behind.
Okay.
Okay.
Do we start getting a little bit closer in the dark, just so we're nearer?
A bit nearer. Now they would be running essentially from their camp to their guards. So, and you're up on the hill.
I wish we could ping.
Look, I can make a quick scene if you want to. That sounds wrong.
Might be useful.
A scene. Let me just make a map.
You should be able to ping. You just click on the map.
Yeah, but that's not the map. That's the background picture.
That's the map.
So let me just create a quick scene here. Valley of the King. Luckily, I've got the picture loaded.
Oh, okay,
Valley
great.
Set. In the folder of chapter 7. The Wrath of Serothos. Don't say that too quickly. And upload the picture. Luckily, as I said, we've got them here. Access unauthorized. Okay. Interesting.
Okay, so
my
there's
own content.
All right, so there's three. There's three tents, pyramids, whatever they are, that are closest to A.
You'll have the map in a minute.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I just pull the local copy rather than the one. No, it won't let me do it now. Oh, that's annoying. I can, however, plonk it on as a tile. That's the alternative.
Okay.
Hopefully, it will let me do that. I've never had that problem before. That basically says my API for the Forge doesn't work.
Concrete, yeah. Ooh.
So,
Called the Wrath of the Wife.
Yeah, it's probably your wife. Go and tell her to stop streaming.
Curse,
She's using all your bandwidth.
Yeah, it's a curse. Yeah.
Using the bandwidth.
Yeah.
The bandwidth.
The Sorcerers of Bandwidth.
Oh, let's try this here. Local Conan 220 assets. Scenes. Upload. It will not let me do that. I'm really sorry, guys. So we have to.
It's okay.
We have to make.
Okay.
It.
So there are three tents, right, between A and B.
No, they have pyramids.
Okay, so those are the pyramids. So where exactly are the
tents? Are not actually shown. As I said, they were on the. If you go from A to B, you've got the big pyramid, the smaller pyramid.
Yeah.
Just east of the smaller pyramid, that's where the encampment is. Between that and the statue.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
okay. So that's where this individual's running towards.
Let's just show that on the stream again, so people can sort of follow along at least. That is where the bigger tent is quite close to the smaller pyramid. And
so
that is where the messenger is running, to the bigger tent.
Yeah. So right in front of the view of the statue looking toward the west.
That's right.
Okay. All right. I understand. Okay. Excellent.
And we are exactly where?
Just
If I
If I-
ping, your map position might be different to mine. So basically, if you go from B south, now I thought you were going southeast. You see there's a sort of little peninsula, little nose coming out on the northern edge of that crevasse.
yeah.
That's where I thought you were, but I
Yeah,
think...
and that's where I think.
Okay, that's fine.
where
Because there's a little bit of cover in it. So, so we're behind the excavation, aren't we?
You're
Big side.
above or behind, yeah, so the excavation, the bigger excavation is just north of you, and this other one is northeast.
Yes.
And from where you are to the tent, we are talking about 210 feet.
Okay.
If you do feet, that's 70 meters. If you don't do feet.
And are there groups of soldiers just wandering around patrolling the camp?
There are a couple of soldiers in front of the big tent, essentially guarding the entrance. And you see some hanging around, but it looks more like they're hanging around their own fires rather than actually really keeping an eye out. So if you wanted to be sneaky, you could probably sneak down from D and get to C. But if you wanted to get any closer to the pyramid, there are fires on, there's light on, there are people there.
But we're in soldiers' costumes, so we could just walk around as if we're soldiers, a group of 2 soldiers, and just avoid any close contact with anyone.
You reckon that on the edge of the camp, definitely. Yeah,
why don't we do that?
In this light, be quite safe. But as soon as you approach somebody that might recognize it, they don't recognize you.
Yeah, that's fine. And then we'll just do it.
Yeah.
So you want to go back to the bottom of the valley, yeah?
We want to get close. We want to wander, so we're a bit closer. If we have to do something, we can basically.
Okay.
So we probably want to wander over towards the direction of probably the bottom pyramid with the cut out of it. So therefore, when this person runs back, if they run back, if we want to do something, we can.
I see.
Does that make sense? That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but
along the edge towards the
west. I was thinking something different. I was thinking that if we envision the camp in between the statue and that pyramid, the smaller pyramid, not the one with the bite out of it, then it should be going to the individual should be going to an important person's tent.
Yeah, and we'll still see that. Yeah.
And so I think that when somebody comes out, that we intercept them or we go into that tent, because that would be the important tent.
Okay.
Especially if they go into the larger tent. I think what we should do is wait and see.
I'm just thinking, just wander a little bit closer at least, so we're near enough if we have to do something quickly.
So
we're wanting to get closer.
What I'm hearing is definitely you're going down this crevasse D. Yeah, that's the way to the bottom of the valley.
Yeah.
From D into the valley, and then you're basically hanging around so you can see the entrance to the big tent, but you're not moving very close. Is that correct?
Maybe half the distance, so not into too much light, as if we're just patrolling as 2 soldiers.
Second big stone south of the statue.
We're being as stealthy as we can.
Yeah. Good. So, good, you do that. Now, you are trying to pretend now, so I would like to know how good your dress up was.
Okay.
And the other person is also doubting a little bit what Moataz and Durzo are telling him.
So I need to do a stealth test.
Mm-hmm.
You gain bonus momentum equal to the amount of momentum generated on that test. Okay, so effectively, I double the momentum I get if I'm successful.
So, and I'm going to just give you a perception roll, so you know.
And because I generate momentum, I'm going to use the 1 momentum available.
So you currently have 1 success.
Yeah.
You don't have any way of re-rolling that, do you?
Not with this one, no. Not with stealth. I'll do with observation, but not with stealth.
Right.
Oh.
This one I didn't hide. So,
Oh.
yeah, right. So you are approaching. I mean, you're wearing Stygian soldiers. It's not like these soldiers uniforms. I mean, you're not wearing the soldier skin. So it's not like they have got big rank insignia or something, but they might have something to show you who their lord is, or some sign. So, yeah, something like that. Possible. Maybe that's what you've forgotten. Yeah, as you approach them, you just see that they seem to have some sort of insignia on their overcoat. Makes you slightly more cautious. So you have not been discovered yet. But let's get back to the runner. The runner is now entering the big tent, and you're too far away to really hear what's going on. But soon after, somebody walks out, another servant of some sort, doesn't look like a soldier, and he's got a cage in his hand. And he opens the door of the cage, and out of it comes a big bird and flies into the sky.
Oh.
Shoot the bird.
When you say big bird, we're on about because it can carry a person.
No.
No, like
No,
the
just
person was carrying the
it's like a homing pigeon.
Oh, okay.
Bigger than...
He's fact checking me.
Yeah, bigger than a crow.
I turn to
smaller than an eagle.
I turn to Creus. I say, "Shoot that thing down."
Yeah. Go for it.
You want to go for it, do you?
Yeah. I'm under command of Shira. Yeah, it's a snap decision.
It's going to be all my fault. We're going to get TPK'd and it's all my fault.
By the command of Shira, you shall kill the bird.
There is no
Phoenix
momentum,
of my
so
Mithra.
here we go.
Oh, no. It is 2 successes. I thought you'd need 2, but it's a small target. Yeah, okay. Can you do anything extra with that? Or is that what's
I've got no momentum in the bank, so...
do you want to use your fortune?
Depends how important this is to you, right?
If you use your fortune, maybe they won't see it.
Can I use my fortune after I've rolled?
Strictly speaking, no, you can't actually. But okay,
okay.
2 successes. Now, I don't think I've actually got a bird made up in this game, but let's have a quick look whether there's any birdie thing. I only have those big demon birds, if you remember. But if you want to, do me a damage roll. How much damage are you making with that thing?
Okay.
Got a dog?
Here we go. Damage.
Snakes? Abominations? Ape
Oh.
people?
Okay, I can reroll 2 of these.
Yeah, go on.
I think it's 2 of them. Quick check. Okay, so it's reroll as many as I have.
Skills, yeah? In that
I've got
tree.
2 dice. Sorry, it's only 2 dice.
Let's see it.
Oh, that's better.
Just noticed something on the layout as a miss. People can't see that properly. I'm going to go back to the other layout. So that was 6 physical damage. So with a humongous screech, the bird sort of gets hit, flips over, and trundles down, and goes plat a little bit further north.
And I will quickly hide the bow if I can, as if it didn't come from us.
Okay, do me a stealth roll, and this time I really want a really good roll. How quickly you can actually hide a bow after. Yeah, because people are looking around.
Oh no. Well, I was successful, but...
So you shoot the bird, and it was a really good shot. However, one of the guards by the tent is now pointing at you and calling something.
And how many guards were by the tent in total? Was there
There were
2 or
2
3?
in front of the big tent, and there were some by a couple of fires.
Shoot away. That collar! Shoot the collar!
Oh, God.
That's like the worst you can have done. Okay.
It is, given his skill.
So, and because I don't actually have a map for this tent either, for this camp. But
the unfortunate thing is we've got no momentum at the moment. It really is.
Yeah.
I'm just looking whether I've got a decent map for you. We just might have to play on this one. Do it theater of the mind. Right. So you now have definitely 2 riled guards. So I tried to tidy up some maps to not overload Foundry for you guys. So I don't have the 100 maps I've made since we started playing this game. So, yes. So the 2 guys in front of the tent definitely know they've clocked, and one of them is calling over to another group of soldiers by a fire. So we have 2 of those, and we've got one.
I'm giving Sheer a nudge to do the into the shadows round the back.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
So what you could do is you could try and disappear somewhere. Where would you want to disappear? Into the shadows, but where? Is it south? Is it back into the crevasse? Is it back towards B or C? Where do you want to go?
Say B or C, or B. The closer to B, where that point is.
Yeah. Well, B, you've got a dig site, and there may be things to hide in the dig site.
Well, and there's definitely a partial cave dug into the side of the mountain by C. And there's rubble lying around to hide behind.
Yeah, but we're farther away from the action. I want to move closer to the tents, and I want to basically move in the shadows to get to that
statue,
to intercept whoever is coming toward him. So I'm leaving Krius, and I'm sneaking as best I can.
Okay, I'm going to make a quick cut to the other team.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, you're standing there patiently, or what are you doing?
It depends how much time has passed.
Well,
because I would think about at the
a good 5 to 10 minutes. You reckon?
Mark.
10 minutes. Let's call it 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Okay, at the 5-ish minutes mark, I would have started to get a little bit impatient,
restless.
Kinda. My uniform is not, does not happen to be the uniform of a commander.
Is that what you're saying to him?
No, I was asking if that just happens to be the case.
So you're asking the guard?
No, I'm asking you.
As the GM?
Yes.
Hang on. Right.
As in,
you were wearing a Stygian
what are
uniforms?
Yes, but what is the Stygian uniform of just a soldier of a commander?
Soldier.
Soldier. Okay. In this case,
right, got it. It's not an officer's uniform. It is relatively simple, but it is serviceable.
You know what I mean. Essentially, I will just ask him what's taking so long, and I have this important person with me. We need to go see your commander.
And say, well, you're being announced. You're finding out whether you're welcome, because we were not expecting anybody tonight or tomorrow.
I can see from here to the other end of the camp. What's taking so long?
Actually, you can't really see that far because the sun is gone from the bottom of the valley. You can just about still see.
But you could see to the other end if the light is on.
Are we talking about if you take the scale at the bottom, you're talking about 300 meters or something, 400 meters. So he's run. I don't know what's taking so long. And at a moment, you hear a strange screech echoing across the desert, like of a bird that has been hurt.
I do not necessarily react to that.
As you wish. JR, do you want to do anything?
I'll keep my wits about me, but yeah.
Braku sort of looks a bit restless, looks over his shoulder. Okay, you wait a little longer. Cut back to our observers in the valley. Now, Krius, you want to go somewhere further away from the tents. You want to escape a little bit, yeah? They have clocked you. They know where you are, and it looks like one of the groups of soldiers is basically being instructed to go after you.
Okay. I was going to shoot the one that's coming after me, then maybe flee.
Well, there's one who spotted you and instructed the group of 4 soldiers coming from the fire to move towards you. They will take a little moment to come to you. They're not immediately upon you.
Okay.
But they're basically being shown. Over there, there's the bird killer, the evil guy.
Run for the shadows.
Right.
There's
so
2
you
minutes
want
at the
to
moment.
withdraw and run, and Shira wants to meld into the shadows somehow.
Yeah, I'm
so
using Living Shadow. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's have your living shadow.
Okay, so I get an extra bonus momentum, just 1.
Mm-hmm. This is entirely not how I thought this would play out.
So does that equate to a momentum die purchase?
No, you gain bonus. I think that's if you're
If I'm successful?
When attempting, you gain bonus momentum. No, I think you can use it to help your success.
I am.
It says when attempting.
Everything's very slow. Huh. I'm sorry, I'm clicking.
So it seems to be slow today. So maybe it's because my wife is doing a class. So you're adept at using terrain effects and social cues. So when terrain is what we're looking. When attempting to remain unseen and unnoticed, you gain bonus momentum equal to the number of your rank and living shadow.
So it's a stealth check.
Yeah, but bonus momentum implies that there needs to be momentum to begin with.
So after successful roll, I would say that as well. So
you
can
do you gain bonus momentum. Yeah, okay.
Okay, you have 1 success at this point.
So therefore you get 1 momentum then, don't you?
It depends how many successes he needs.
Yeah.
And that depends on their perception. Yeah. So because you're moving away from Prize who they're keeping an eye on, I'm going to re-roll their perception on this one.
Mm-hmm.
So you might not have 3 successes too.
See, if you had 2 momentum, you can use that to penalize the watchers.
So if it's tie, the active party wins. Is that right?
The player party wins.
Yeah, the player party.
That's so unfair.
Oh, is it though?
So you don't actually have momentum from this, but you gain your 2 bonus momentum because at least you were successful. So that's how I would interpret that.
Yep. Okay. Fair enough.
Are you rank 2? Are you, Doug?
Yeah.
Is she rank 2?
So you can put 2 momentum on. And bonus momentum, if I remember correctly, needs to be spent immediately. Is that right?
I think so. So, is anybody... Okay, so can I move even closer to them? Or move closer to the tent?
You can if you want to.
So what you can do with general momentum spend, you can perform a task in half the time at cost of 1.
Yeah.
You can add 1 damage to an attack, but you're not attacking.
No.
Disarm an opponent, that's irrelevant. Add an additional d20 to a skill test before the roll is made.
I'm going to
skill test difficulty.
Yeah, I'm just going to try to get to the tent, continuing with the stealth as fast as possible. Yeah.
Okay, I just popped up the momentum if you need it.
I see it. Yeah.
Okay. Right. So you want to move towards the tent swiftly and hidden.
Yes.
Okay, you get quite close to the tent.
Okay.
Because you reckon Christ is really helping you. Because they're sort of focusing on him, you sort of slinked off to the side, or slunk off, and managed to meld into the shadows, moving from fallen rock to leftover cart from something to empty beer barrel, until you get closer to the big tent. But there's a lot of hubbub, and there are definitely raised voices inside. You don't know what they're saying, though, because they speak foreign.
No. Can I distinguish how many voices I hear?
You reckon about 4.
Okay.
So what I'm going to try to do then is, as I'm running, and therefore I want to make sure they focus on me, so Shiva gets a chance to go into the shadows. I'm going to run towards C and aim to circle around that pyramid and then come back along the northern side, back towards the camp. Hopefully, at which point I can just blend into the shadows, maybe.
That's a fair bit of running you're trying to do there, isn't there? So you want to
I'm a
run
quick person.
along past B, past C, further east and north, swing around the pyramid and see where they can come back.
I'm thinking I'm going to have to get quite distant from these soldiers.
Okay. Oh, right. How do we best do this? There's not a running check in this one. It's not like Midgard where you have Geländerlauf.
It's probably athletics.
What's that, like
or
3?
acrobatics?
So let's have a look what sort of skills you can bring to bear on this. Where are you? Foes, Shadows of the Sorcerer.
About 200 meters?
Yeah, it depends how far and quickly you run and stuff. But yeah, it's not that far. I mean, I can't plot it out, unfortunately, because I didn't make him up with this. I thought he wouldn't play on it. I thought he would just go straight to C and be done with it. But you never do what I expect you to. That's usual. So, where was it? Cries.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Cries.
This is not going quite to plan.
That's all right. We'll get back to the others in a minute. So you don't... It should be agility of some sort, I think.
Yeah. So acrobatics then.
Yeah, let's do acrobatics. How quickly, how swiftly you can run.
And I've got a tag called Agile that lets me re-roll an acrobatics.
I think if you want to keep ahead of them, you at least need 2. The more, the better.
Can I leverage the momentum that's there?
You can. The reason I'm saying that is basically any extra successes you'll have will increase the distance between you and them, give you a better chance to hide or disappear.
I'll use them both if that's okay then.
Yeah, sure.
And I get to re-roll 1 dice as well.
Nice.
So that's 1 sort of. I did say difficulty 2 though.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, sorry, apologies, I didn't select that. Okay, so I got 3 successes out of the difficulty. Yeah.
So you've got 1 momentum from it. That gives you, for how you're hiding, it will give you +1. Now, do you want to, as you run past C, basically, you see that there seems to be a proper, almost a cave entrance. So it's not just a little bit shallow, like carved out bit of the mountain, but you reckon there's probably tunnel leading into there. So of course you might end up in a dead end, but on the other hand, this is a dead good spot, no pun intended, to hide in.
Okay, if I see that it looks like a better place, I'll use that to hide because it's dark and there's no torchlight.
Okay, then do me 1 more stealth. Now you are out of the light. Yeah, you're currently in the relative darkness. So I'm going to give you, that makes it a bit easier for you. It's only difficulty 1 for your stealth roll.
And I've got 1 momentum I carried over, so I'll use that anyway, because hopefully I'll generate more.
Oh, that's nice. Look at that. You just disappear in front of their noses, essentially. You round the corner, they don't think you went into sea. They run past you and run around the pyramid and look for you.
Okay, perfect. So that's 4 momentum. Plus I've got Living Shadow rank 2, so I generate 2 extra momentum.
Oh, okay.
So that's... I've topped up the momentum for the other group.
So that means I said difficulty 1, so that's 4 momentum from there, plus 2 is 6, you're full, yeah.
Yeah, so it's topped it up to the full 6.
That's how it's done. That was heroic. Good. Back to the others. I think, let's go back outside. You're still waiting. The guy in front of you is getting a bit nervous.
And so me. All right, that's enough. Step aside, we will announce ourselves. And I, just take the group and walk past him towards the, Yeah.
Yes,
I assume we dismounted during our conversation.
Yeah, you did, probably.
Because...
So he said, wait, you can't do that. Hang on. Did you just ignore him?
Yeah.
Okay. You enter into this narrow valley, and he's ranting a little bit behind you. And it doesn't take long. You're a little way away, a couple of minutes maybe, and you enter the valley, and then you hear behind you a big horn.
Like
an
a big
alarm
horn, you said, as in a signaling horn.
Like exactly.
See, now you did it. I was sent here to announce Prince Samarkand, and now he had to announce himself. We'll make sure to tell him who's at fault for this.
You think it was a guard behind you? Because you left him behind, didn't you? So he waited. He went in his tent, got his horn out, and went toot. So the people in front of you, you see some people standing up, looking
I see.
around.
All right,
He went the horn.
There's a hubbub of activity already because somebody shot the master's favorite bird. Yeah, and you see some soldiers running around looking for something. You're not quite sure what. And you are basically now between A and B. Yeah, roughly where the first pyramids are. And you see some soldiers ganging up. So you've got one soldier behind you that you know of, but you've got probably within a couple of moves, you have probably about 10 soldiers ahead of you.
Okay, and one of those soldiers looks like a commander, like someone who's in charge.
Let's say 2 of them look like they're sort of captains of some sort. And the
I'll
rest
approach
are
them
minions.
and just spin the whole thing again. Essentially, we are from Prince Simmerket's party. We're here to announce him, and doing a whole, being puffed up and disappointed and impatient why
All right.
everything
Now,
takes so long.
unless this
it's
is an
complicated.
extraordinary success, let's say unless you get 4 successes somehow, they are not going to believe you because there's alarm, there's attack, there's warning, there's dead birds.
The dead bird gave it away.
They're not in the mood to easily believe you.
May I ask if we, at what point of our movement we heard the horn?
You just got close to the tent, and I would say the criers just slunk away into the tunnel.
Okay.
So you had finished essentially your move.
Okay. Just wanted to know the timeline.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is important. I mean, this feels a little bit like Shadowrun almost, or more like Fiasco maybe.
But essentially, now we have the distraction we were planning for. Like, there's a commotion and everyone is gathering around.
There's definitely a commotion. There's definitely attention brought upon you. I'm not sure I would call it a distraction.
I mean, I guess they're distracted.
Yeah, by you, not from you.
No, but that was the whole plan, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We distract them.
Yeah, I suppose. So, yeah, I'm not sure where I should put the scene next. Mortas, what do you do? Do you just cling to Durzo, or?
Do they wait? So it was the person behind us that that rang the horn.
That's just the one guard.
It's the one guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna. I mean, the group doesn't know that he rang the horn because of us.
Well, no, but it looks like there's a strong likelihood for causality.
I'm gonna tell the group there is a force much larger coming. The scout ahead spotted it. They rang the horn. You need to let us speak to the commander soon. There's something important we need to talk about this army.
I like that. So, do you guys want to gang up, the 2 of you at least, to see whether they can get those successes together?
Sure.
Successes.
And I think
what?
So. Who's talker number 1 and who's his sister? Shira? No, you're not there.
And I'm gonna try to use the same. They are Stygian, right?
They are Stygian. The soldiers are Stygian.
All right.
The slaves
So
are not all Stygian, but the soldiers are.
This could be used in that case.
Here's one I made earlier. I've got a Stygian dictionary.
The accent. I guess I'll use momentum.
Yeah, you're not, you know just how to speak a language, but how to speak it in a fashion that sets a native speaker at ease. You can substitute linguistics for persuade. Very good.
Ooh.
These talents that you never thought you would try, would use.
Yeah. Should I use 2 momentum?
You've got 6.
We'll see. Yeah, 6 is the limit, right?
6 is the
Exactly.
limit.
Like in a personal stash.
So you currently have 3 successes and a complication.
And I'm assisting. Like,
Yeah,
still got
really,
an
you should
answer.
have rolled first, but doesn't matter. You can assist
Yeah.
with either being imposing or with speaking. I think you were speaking earlier, so
Yeah, so persuade.
yeah.
Yeah, let's use that momentum if we have it. Why not?
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh,
Yeah.
There we
not
go.
bad.
5 successes.
We still have a complication though. But I'm going to recharge my Doom with that one because I need a bit more Doom for later. And I spent some already today. Good. They certainly hesitate enough. And then he says to his other companion there, take them to the commander, take them to the commander. He's with the sorcerer.
and
And they take you across to the tent.
yeah, to get escorted. Durzo does have a weapon, right?
He has a
Yeah,
weapon.
I'm in full kit.
Yeah, okay, you're fully equipped to kill the
But
sorcerer.
in front of the tent now, you actually have quite a few soldiers. Shira, you are also at the tent now. You see all of this.
Okay, I'm looking for a flap entrance that would allow me to get in and sneak.
So you basically are trying not to go through the front, but you're trying to get
No.
through a side wall somewhere.
Because the front I'm imagining is
Got it.
busy. Yeah.
Busy is lots of people piled up
Yeah.
there, so you're slinking around
Yeah.
the back. You may have to get your dagger out to make yourself a little entrance.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to have my dagger out as well as my fan. I'm going to be,
Just slice a gap in over.
yeah,
Slice a gap.
very, very as gently, but I want to be able to see. The first thing is I want to be able to see
Now, this tent
what's
is quite
going
big.
on inside.
Yeah, this tent is quite big. You reckon, essentially, we'll have probably some inner subdivisions, you reckon?
Yes.
Yeah?
Okay.
So not to call it rooms, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so do me stealth, just to see how silent and careful you can be with us, unless you think you've got a better skill for that. And then we'll see what you find as you slink into the tent. That is pretty
Well,
good. That is
Very
pretty good.
nice. Very
So
nice.
you're very stealthy. Let me just roll here for the little minion who might be inside. You never know. That
There's only
actually
a
means you
minion
have 3
inside.
momentum gained. You can put them back on, or you can use them for something. As you open it up, you see that there is some faint light behind. There's not a lot of light, but there is some faint light, and you get a smell. You get a smell of a floral nature.
like potpourri.
Like, yeah, finer than that. Like
Frankincense?
you enter, no, not so much Bernie. You are basically entering into a woman's boudoir. You think you
it's just like a familiar smell.
a familiar, like a feminine environment of somebody who likes the perfume.
Yeah, okay.
And you see sitting or sort of reclined on a big cushion, essentially. You see a lady sitting there, and she's reading some scrolls. But she has not noticed you.
I'm gonna
Because there's
sneak around
shouting
and kill.
coming from through the tent wall, and she seems to be listening, but she was reading before she was listening. Now her attention is very much on the shouted conversation.
I'm going to sneak around and kill her.
No questions asked.
No questions asked. She's reading scrolls. No, I don't. No, you're done.
You
Because
don't
that was-
people who read.
I just
Yeah.
don't like
She's going to
people
give us
who read.
important information, and it's
Remember, my
that's
backstory is that I was taken away by intellectuals, by religious
Priests.
people, and I was whipped, and I've been
Abused.
internally scourged. So I am. This is payback.
yay.
Is the woman snake looking?
I don't care. She's
It is
reading
not
scrolls.
Hagrid, although that would be a really cool idea, actually. I should really.
Oh, is she not Hagrid?
No, she's not Hagrid. That's a really cool idea, but that doesn't quite fit. So I want to keep Hagrid for later.
Okay, I'm still moving along.
Still moving along. So
I'm not going to change my mind. That's my
Actually-
instinctive nature.
I'm just going to think a rude word and say it afterwards. Why not Hagrid? Why not? I like that. Let's do that. It's much better than the story as it is. So let me put Hagrid on here. Of course, she would have rolled a bit more to notice you, but she wouldn't have had 4 successes. There's no way. Even Hagrid. So I'm going to put her on our little... Oh, it's the wrong picture, but it doesn't matter. On our little thing here, on our little background. And then we're going to put Shira on there.
Yep.
And I'm going to hide the soldiers or move them a bit further away because they're in a different tent room. And then we'll see. You have enough sneaky to get up there, definitely. That's not a problem. So let me just briefly go to the other camera again. Because I might just actually adjust the dice dialogue. So, what do you want to do? You want to just attack her. Is there a sneak attack in Conan? I can't remember.
I mean, there's this exploit action.
Yes,
which
she
I
will not
think
have a
would
guard
fit
up.
with the
That's
sneak
right.
attack.
Mm-hmm.
And you've
That's
probably
true.
got talents, haven't you, that help you with this?
I do. I think so. I don't have melee. But I have my fan, and my fan is loaded with that poison that is from Cato's apples.
Oh.
So I have 3 vials of that. So they're kind of, I envision that it's in there, each dose. And so that's my plan. My talents, I don't really have anything other than persuade and intimidate and stuff, and force of presence. My stealthing is living shadow, so I'll use my living shadow, I guess, if that's going to help. But essentially, I want to sneak up and slit her throat.
I was thinking because
I've done that before.
In
You have done
stealth
that
talents,
before.
you've got many blades, haven't you? And if you carry on down the path, you've got assassin as a talent down there. If you went that far, but I wasn't sure if you had.
No, I don't think
Many-
you've gone that far.
I haven't gone that far. I don't have many. I do have many blades. Yes.
And then you've got death dealer, and you've got assassin. So there is a path that you've obviously not.
Yeah.
followed.
No, I haven't gone down that path. I went down the persuade path.
If you coat your dagger in the poison and manage to nick her, like, she's dead.
Oh, it's in my fan, but my fan is a weapon.
Yeah, you got to hit with it.
Yeah. So what do you want me to do, Frank?
Sorry, you were attacking with the dagger initially, or with the fan now?
Well, with the fan, I mean, I'm dual wielding.
Oh, I see.
So I'm hitting her with my fan, and then I'm going to use whatever momentum to stab her. But I'm trying to get the job done, is basically what I'm saying.
Right, let's do that. And see what happens. Much more interesting than the story as it's written. So let's do that.
Okay. So
Because I also have personal vengeance, sort of, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I'm going to attack her.
Didn't treat your tummy ache.
Yeah.
Exactly.
She didn't
you when
treat
you
my
said,
stomach ache.
Ow, my tummy.
We had a lovely conversation, though. I am going to use...
Just as a little bit of warning, if that's the wrong word, but this is a nemesis character.
Using 2 momentum.
Mm-hmm.
And...
You can use up to 3, you know.
I know, but I know that my third is going to be a fortune.
You can have a maximum of 5 dice.
So and I can only
that's
have
what
a
you're
maximum
saying.
of 5
Down 2
dice. So I've
extra.
used
Remember
my...
that the second attack is 1 difficulty higher.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
That's available
exactly.
to you as well. Yeah.
So we spend a lot of momentum, and we roll, and we see what happens, and we only have 7 successes.
Only 7 successes. And then
And she's
I'm going to...
defenseless, so she's not trying to dodge you because she didn't see you
I'm-
coming.
No, and I'm going to use a momentum
To do
to do the dagger attack.
second hand, yeah.
Second hand.
Momentum.
That's one
And
harder.
And
Yeah,
the
absolutely
difficulty is... What's the difficulty now?
D2.
D2.
2, yeah.
2.
Normal melee is 1, this is not 2. With a fan. Oh, 15.
No. The
just.
fan was first. The fan was
Oh,
first.
sorry, dagger.
And
but
then
still,
the dagger is
still
second.
one.
And the first one was loaded with the poison from
And
the tree.
the carter. Apple. Did I
Yeah.
tell you at
Oh,
the
the
time
apple
what it
tree,
was?
yeah.
Or did I just say,
Pardon?
I'll look it up then.
Well,
it's
it
pretty
basically
nice.
just touched my forehead and it created a massive scar. So
did.
I imagine that this is
It's painful.
It is painful
mean-
and it's got some other stuff.
In
So,
Red Nails, Conan stabs a fucking dragon with that shit, and
it
he
dies.
like instant dies. So
Yes.
okay. Yeah.
So, let's see.
Make
it
One
good.
doll's gone, you know that.
Yes.
Let's have some damage, shall we? So
Yes, absolutely.
Both attacks,
Okay.
one after the other, probably.
Okay. So so the damage.
This
So
is where
the
Shiva is
damage
shining.
for the okay. So I'm working with 9 successes. The damage. I don't get any bonuses or anything, right? I just roll normally.
Not on the damage. You roll normal damage, but you can,
You
of
can
course,
add damage with momentum.
with
they call
momentum, you
plus
can
1
add
damage.
dice or
Okay,
straight damage. It's not even dice. So
So-
that's 3 on head. Okay, she doesn't have armor on.
And
also you can reroll damage die.
I don't think that I can. I don't
Yeah,
have
for
any.
one momentum spent, you can reroll as many as you want.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I will re-roll 1.
Oh, it didn't work. So that's 3.
Didn't work.
But you still have
Okay.
the dagger.
And I'm going to attack
Splattered
with my dagger.
I see before me.
This is the dagger that I see before me, and I'm going to roll that. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
just
sorry.
needed
I'll go.
damage.
Just damage.
Yes,
You have
I
hit
know.
already.
Yeah. I
Um,
was over enthusiastic.
Oh, yes, you were. Go on. Go on. She's nasty. Nasty piece of work. So that is 3 and 3 is 6.
And you can use momentum, just do plus 1 damage. As many times as you want.
Well, I just used the momentum, so that's for re-roll, right?
Yeah, but this you can
Yeah.
just add.
Oh, okay. So I'll just add the damage. Yeah.
Yeah, essentially
Okay.
you can add 2 damage to
One of the rolls.
make the wound.
Yeah.
Yep.
So probably doesn't really matter where you hit her. She doesn't have armor on. So that makes it a total. One is a 5 damage. And the other one is a 3 damage, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, how am I
And-
going to do that? Apply damage,
and-
but I need to put some extra on it. So vigor, 2 extra, and the effects, that's the first one. So you have also staggered her, stunned her. And the second one, apply damage as it is, with unforgiving on it.
Mm-hmm.
So, cost an additional break. So,
And
trigger
we
both
need the
intense and vicious
poison damage.
qualities.
And as I've done this, I
Yeah.
whisper in her ear, "Guess who's back?"
For that, I give you bonus momentum.
Oh, thank you. Yay. Okay.
Um,
No, that's
excellent.
lovely.
So you had your stab attack. Now I need to, for a moment, go across to Cryus,
Absolutely.
because Cryus has been left alone a little bit. I don't want anybody to be left
What
alone.
about the poison damage?
Oh, we're getting there, I guess.
Oh, poison damage. I don't want to spoil things yet. So Cryus,
Yeah.
you go into this dark cave entrance,
Mm-hmm.
and you hear some voices in front of you. You hear one voice.
I will immediately take some sort of cover and just try to blend into the shadows and just listen, conscious that I probably don't understand what they're saying.
No, you walk into this tunnel for a little bit, and you basically see that it seems to have dug out a largish area in there. So huge excavation they must have done here. And you notice that there are like pillars they have excavated, there are rests of walls and stuff like that. Quite a bit of rubble, so you can actually duck away to the side. It's not very hard at all. So you don't even need to roll. But you see a couple of people, they seem to be preparing something in the middle of this room. In the middle of this excavated cave. And it looks quite elaborate. I'm going to describe it later when you can have a proper look, because you just ducked behind it.
But when you say they're trying to prepare something, what does it look like they're trying to prepare?
Have a guess. Take a wild stab.
As if they're getting prepared for some sort of ceremony. They're putting black candles in.
Some sort of ritual, yeah. And as you're ducking behind there, and you hear these strange voices booming around, and clatter of metal, clatter of some bowls and so on, you get a hand on your shoulder.
Glance around, thinking it's probably Shira that's sneaked up behind me.
Close.
But it's not as close as I wanted it. Yeah.
Not Shira. No, let me see whether I can. I'm trying to recombine scenes here on the go to make it interesting. So, see, although that's too lit, so it's much darker. But you see this person.
Oh.
And it's a new version of somebody you already know. I made a new picture. This is Tyra.
Oh.
And she whispers into your ear.
Mm-hmm.
Strange are the paths of fate.
Mm-hmm.
And puts a shh. And with that, we go back to our soldiers, or you can find us in front of the tent. Do you like that little picture?
Yes. Love it.
She's got dark rings under her eyes. She has definitely lost considerable weight since you've last seen her. But she has a determined sort of fire in her eye that you remember from her. A determination,
I'm just surprised she's there. Yeah.
And she's basically in torn sort of dress. Yeah? Good. I could surprise you a little bit there. That's nice. Right, where were we? In front of the tent. You are our delegation is being surrounded by soldiers and waiting in front of the tent now. There's voices inside. And one of them goes inside. There's a short further discussion. The voices cease for a moment. There seems to be a sort of questioning silence. And somebody comes out. Soldier. He looks like a commander from his dress, yeah? Or like a bodyguard or something. He's definitely well equipped in his armor, and his weapon is all finery. It's all pretty good. And he looks at you and says, "Who is your leader?"
Well, Prince Summercat is our leader.
No. You must be the leader then. Prince Summercat? And what of this other group, force that you said that was coming?
They are a distance away, but it seems they were spotted and they might be coming this way.
Is it your force? Is it Summercat as well?
No, it's a strange force, different army, and we came here to warn here.
But why?
Who knows? Maybe they're just traveling, or maybe someone has gained notice of what's happening here.
He holds out his hand. So give me the message from Summercat.
It was only by word. It was most urgent, so he didn't write anything down.
So the only thing he told you to say about him is he was coming soon. But the force that is coming is not his.
No.
Strange news. And he gives some instructions. Basically seems to be instructing his people to go on the watch positions and ready the arms and ready the weapons and so on. Wake everybody up. And then he turns around and heads back into the tent and basically leaves you standing there without further instruction. The soldiers all
So
look
we're
at you a little
standing
bit
there.
strange, but they've been given instructions to get ready for a fight, so they're not hanging about. They're dispersing.
So we are left alone.
Pretty much.
That's convenient.
Well, you've rolled pretty well with your second conversation, so I didn't want to go through the whole thing again and question you again.
Another persuasion.
That would have been daft now.
Oh,
So,
I'll take it.
to keep the flow. Now,
Yeah.
Shira. Sorry, I'm doing lots of micro cuts.
Yeah, no, I
Back and forth.
understand it. The party is split in three.
Not just the party, I think. So you see Hagrid, as you whisper this in your ear, her eyes are wide. She's trying to turn around, but you've got a hold on her. She's staggered, so she can't do that much. But she's trying to escape your grasp. So let's have a look at what this poison is going to do. Now, I know that somewhere in the Shadow of the Sorcerer thing here, that was actually in the Conan the Adventurer, isn't it? The Apple of Haketa. Has anybody got the PDF? It's going to be much faster to find it.
Which
For
book is it?
which?
That's the
Okay.
main
Yeah.
rulebook.
The
And
main
it's under
one.
magical trinkets or poisons.
I'll
I
have a
just don't
look.
have the PDF open right now.
I have the PDF. I just got to open it.
Haketa. Herketa. Or was it Derketa?
You dark decade.
Derketa. Because it's mentioned in the adventure, but it then says look in the main rulebook.
I can't find the word apple, I don't think.
Otherwise, I have to just go back to that adventure thing.
Nope, not in the core.
Let me just have a look. It might be in the Skelos. Book of Skelos.
Yeah.
It was in Burning Sands, wasn't it? Acheron, long vanquished.
Where is it?
Across the savannah, encounters in
Well, you
Kush.
guys have this.
Book of Skelos is all about magic, though, isn't it? Is it the poison?
So, successful is this. Yeah, it's Derketa. An alchemy test identifies it's an extraordinary deadly poison. If an apple is consumed or a target is struck by a weapon poison by one dose, the victim takes an extra 4 damage dice of damage, persistent 4 stun. So,
What?
can you do me, and I think there's a macro for this, do damage dice 4 times?
It's CD.
Yeah, so
For
you
damage
can
dice.
roll /R space 4 CD. That should do.
4 CD?
4 CD
Yeah.
combat dice. Or challenge dice. Whatever they're called in this game. Combat, I think.
I'm trying it, but it's saying no. /R
Yeah.
4
space. No,
CD.
/R space. 4 CD.
Yeah. /R space
4 CD.
4.
One. Oh, but it's
Does it have to be
DP.
caps?
No? Let's see. I can
Try
do that.
DP instead of CD.
DP?
Yeah.
Works for me. So, Shira, of course. You had a 2, a 6, a 3, and a 4. Now, a 2 is 2 damage, a 6 is 1 damage, a 3 and 4 nothing. So it's 3 damage, but it's got persistent, and you have 1 effect in there.
Can I spend the momentum to do more damage?
Yeah, absolutely. You can re-roll any damage dice if you want. So if you want to keep the 2 and the 6, I guess, you re-roll
Yeah.
two more dice.
So that's 2 DP?
Yeah, should be. How did you end up at DP?
I looked it up all the way at the beginning.
So that means
Ooh,
we have
very
another 3 damage.
Thank you.
So 6 damage.
Yeah.
And
Plus the above.
plus the effect, plus the above. So it's another 6, and it's persistent and it's done. So next time, for the next 4 rounds, she's going to get the same damage again from this poison.
She's not going to be very healthy, is
Do
she?
you re-roll the damage each time, or is it just applied from the first roll?
Fineries.
So she has
She gets the same damage 4 times. I know that much, but the same
Okay,
dice probably.
so she's had
does.
11 vigor. She's had 3 wounds,
So
and
let's-
then this damage.
yeah,
she's
can
not
I,
gonna
can I apply it from
do
here?
too well.
Don't think I can
So
apply
she's
it.
dead.
So with a widened eyes. Her vigor is very, very low already, and she's got 3 wounds already. So you can see how she's struggling, but you're hanging on to her, and you can feel quite quickly how her struggle is fading, it's weakening, and with a few convulsions, you get this feel that her whole skin is feeling clammy all of a sudden, but she turns into a snake form and falls to the ground, limp and dead, and with a sigh of disgust or something like that, I reckon you just drop her down. What do you do?
I drop her down, and I step on her, and I grab the scroll
Yeah.
that she has,
Yeah.
or the scrolls that she's been reading. And is there anything else around this part of the tent? I imagine that
There's a little brazier.
Is there anything else?
Mention a woman's quarter in a tent, lavishly decorated. What do you want that to be?
If there's any trinkets that I can quickly kind of grab, but I mean, I'm talking really quickly. If there's any gold or anything like that,
There's
I'm
some
just
jewelry
gonna
there.
I'm gonna grab it quickly, put it away, knock the brazier over. Well, you know what? I don't want to make noise, so I may just move the brazier close enough to the tent so that it's going to catch fire.
You still hear voices on the inside, but you haven't peeked through yet, have you?
No, I'm burning it down and I'm leaving.
You're exiting the same way you came in.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent. I love that scene. Really good. Of course, there was an ad break on Twitch during that time, but hey, if you want to watch it again, you can. It will be on YouTube. But excellent. Yeah, I love that. So, you had your revenge on Heckwin. Well done, Shira. Well done. Your assassin has come true at the end there. So, we have the people at the front of the tent. What are you doing? So you're basically left to your own devices, and people say, go there, go this, do this, firm this up, close that gap, get the bows, get the arrows, all that sort of thing. But they are pretty much ignoring you now.
All right, I guess we will just stand there dumbfounded until the tent in front of us is, up in flames.
Abraku says to you, "That went well." But yeah, you don't actually know anything about the fire, of course.
Yeah, but we are just left to our own devices. We don't have anywhere to go per se.
Well, you know that there was this excavation.
Yeah.
We don't know about the fire. We would still go try to kill whoever's in the tent, or no?
Now, my guess is we did our part with the distraction, so we would rely on them getting rid of the sorcerer.
And you don't know what we've done so far. Yeah.
So I guess our priority would be to get out alive. Can we get to the... I mean, did we specify a meeting point?
No.
Just back at the crevasse or what it was.
You can go towards the...
Probably this secret crevasse, because that's
I thought that at the end of everything, we knew that we had to go over to the excavation point, but we were trying to get rid of the sorcerer so that there wasn't going to be any worse situations. So that
that makes sense.
So my next move is going to be going to the excavation site or to find Creus, whatever comes first.
It makes sense, I think, if you go towards the excavation site, and it's pretty much what I was looking for. So, let's just... Yeah? Unless you really want to do something else?
Not sure. Yeah, up to you.
Shira, you slip out the back and you see how a slightly confounded, confused, flummoxed group of your friends are standing around in front of the tent. And sort of, let's do it now. And then after a little while, yeah, why not? That's actually a good way. Dazu, you see Shira slinking off and giving you a wave. In all the hubbub and all the confusion now, that doesn't even seem to register with the people, with the guards, the soldiers.
Well, after seeing her, I'll quickly notify the others, and then we head in the same direction, I guess, trying to blend in. As in, looking sort of busy, but
most of the hubbub is not where you're going. But as I said, they have no eyes for that.
Yeah.
And you actually hear some shouts and saying, "Oh, they're coming out of the dark." And you hear some leathery wings flapping over you, but you can't see what it is in the dark. So you duck into the cave as well? Into the excavation?
Yeah.
It is dark.
Yep.
And you see a little light ahead of you. There's as I was saying, there's an excavated room. I think I have a map for this. Somewhere.
So the four of us met up, but Cryos is still somewhere else.
Yeah. You're not quite sure where he is amongst yourselves.
And once we're together, I'm like, where's Chris?
He was with you.
No, we split up. I killed Hekret. She's dead. She was a snake. She's gone. Look, gold.
Cool. Very well done. But yeah, you approach this room there. You see off to the distance there's a little bit of light, and there is some voices. Do me a quick, one of you, don't mind who, observation, but Cryos also needs to do one. Tell me how many successes we've got. Cryos got 2. You see them coming. Or you notice them coming. You can actually tell.
I will quickly try to flag them down. I will dart over towards them because I need them to be quiet.
Right. And somebody from the other party, please. From the other 3. Observation.
Nobody?
I don't
I don't know what to volunteer. Yeah.
Go for it. Somebody can go
You're
for
good
it.
at this, aren't you? Mortas. Observation.
Me? Observation? No. But
No?
I'm
Try.
really good at it.
Go for it.
All right. I say that, but Butchus gets screwed.
2 20s or something, yeah. One success.
I mean, that's cocked, isn't it?
You sort of, your attention is really on where's this light coming from, where are the voices coming from, when all of a sudden Cryos emerges out of the shadow in front of you. Over to you, Cryos.
Oh, shh. It's a ceremony. The sorcerer is here. And 2 of us here as well. Come on. You need to be quiet. We have to stop this ceremony.
Grah?
Yeah, she's here. She managed to free herself. Look, I assume she's behind me somewhere. I'll call her. I'll wave her over.
She is behind you somewhere, but she actually gestures. Oh, that's still the old Tiora. She gestures at you to duck into a side room. It's completely dark, but you can feel your way through. And you basically get into the side room, and you feel she pushes you in different positions, hugs you all, other than Abraku, she doesn't know, and says to you, "Oh, it is so good to see you. I thought it was a dream, but you're here."
Well, we did say we was going to come all the time.
Yes, but everything
we were
was
never
such
gonna
a
leave you
blur. And you see that against the wall of this little room, she's got a couple of small candles. Yeah, that's all. She seems to have made a camp in here. And there is a couple of weapons on the side and so on. And she puts a stone in front of it. Says, they don't know I'm here. They haven't found this little hidey hole. I really thought I was dreaming. The lotus that they've given me. Everything just... You never know. Is it real? Is it dreamland? Your guide, Abraku, looks at you and says, "Who is this woman?"
She's one of us. It's fine. She was here from the start. She got taken from us.
So as you get a closer look with a little bit of light, she really looks drained and like she's been consuming drugs far too much for far too long.
Because I've seen Tora,
Mhm.
and all of a sudden, like I see her face and I see it drawn, I immediately, Shira immediately thinks about the missing, like I almost put my hand to the eye because she's a reminder of the eye. And so I go and I remember that it's not there. And then I kind of think about it again as I've done in the past to kind of locate its presence.
So you're trying to sense where it is. We previously have done that with a sorcery check, right?
Yeah.
Let's do a sorcery check.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Fortress.
It's one of my lowest skills.
Yeah, let's have it. You just need two successes, and that's all.
Oh, we don't have any momentum. Okay.
Not currently, but I'll gladly take some doom from you. It's one success and one complication.
Well,
yeah, if you don't have the skill, essentially, then your complication range is higher. That's why it says complication 19 rather than 20.
That's why it's good to always put a focus in some things.
Yeah, not a big deal. All you can sense that it's close by. You don't know where, but
Okay.
it feels like it's very close by.
Okay.
Probably in currently a flame tent.
Outside, they're doing some ceremony. They're preparing for something. It must be the sorcerer.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to stop it.
So
There's
I
another
have to let you know.
sorcerer. I thought that I had just. Oh,
Back to the other
no.
scene.
Okay. Don't worry.
Yeah, another sorcerer. Interesting that you should mention that.
So you killed Hecret. Oh,
Yeah, but she was reading these. Here, Mortaz, read this. Look, here are some scrolls that I just got from Hecret.
Did you
I
take them
don't-
with you? Okay.
how did she
Oh,
get it?
yeah.
But
Hey,
what
I
about
absolutely took them with me.
what about
Absolutely.
Serothos? Wasn't he in the tent?
No,
I don't know. I'm. Is it a flame?
he must be the one who's out there. Then he must be.
You may, yeah, why not? You notice that there's definitely some smoke coming up and some light coming from the side of the tent, but remember, it is now pretty dark outside.
Yeah. I'm trying to burn them out.
He must be in the cave here, preparing to do something. You've killed Hecret, so somehow she must use her sorcerer's magic to get here so quickly. After all, it took us a long time to get here, and we didn't hang around.
Right. So
She could have been in that advanced party, or she could have. Yeah.
Anything important
I've
that
been here for a
Hecret.
while. I was brought over here, and Serothos, he drugged me the whole time. He kept me drugged with lotus tincture. He gave me broth, must have been mixed in. But, yeah, I was in and out. I never knew what was going on. You know, Serothos, he wears a mask, a bronze mask with a beak on it. Very
But he's the
strange.
one that's out there.
He is around. He's definitely around. Have you not seen him?
No,
but
he
one
must
day-
be doing that ceremony.
A few days ago, I dreamt that I was on a beach, and I was looking out at an endless sea, a jungle behind me, and I heard a voice nearby whispering my name. And as I turned around, there was a man sitting, a tall, wild-haired old man in half robes with a wily grin upon his wrinkled face. He put a finger to his lips. He said to me, "Wake now, child, but be silent. Watch, do not drink what they give you. Wake up and be patient. Help will come, but you must do what you can on your own." So when I next awoke, I spat out the broth that they were giving me, and I tried to avoid it, to take any of it, and my mind slowly came back to me. And since then, I ran away, and I've been hiding in here. You know, I looked at the magical notes in the tent, and they are preparing an old ritual. They're trying to use the eye. And she sounds a bit confused by all that, but that's roughly what you get from her.
I give her some food, and I ask Durzo if he can kind of heal her or do anything. Is there anything that he can do?
Is she wounded?
The lessen the effects of the The purple
Apart from
notice
that I'm extremely suspicious about her character.
You've been from day
Yeah.
one.
Oh, so am I. Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, it's just a backstabbing waiting to happen.
Oh, maybe not.
Well,
Maybe.
I'm gonna say to her that I have a little bit of Lotus that can take her edge off.
She shakes
Or
it.
has
No,
she been off of it for long enough?
No, don't give it to me. I am resisting it. I'm coping.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, look, I looked at lots of the notes that he had left out, and they're all about this old sorcerer called Xhsosath. He's trying to find out about him. But yeah, very strange. They excavated this cave and they found some bits and pieces. They found some bones and so on. But in the end, they actually found. Hang on. Yeah, look, she says. I found these bones and I dug them around this altar that they also found. It's deeper in. You may not have seen it yet. It's beyond this bit. But I think when Serothos, what he's trying to do is he's trying to revive or bring back the soul of this Xhsosath. I think that's what he's here to do.
we have to stop him quickly.
I'm trying to not reveal too much at once.
When I saw what was happening, did I get a feel of how whether they'd started or they were still just preparing?
It looked like preparing. You can ask her if you want to.
Yeah, okay, ask her how close they are to actually starting the ceremony.
I think tonight at midnight they want to start it. In the darkest hour. They said that the veil between the world of the dead and the living is the thinnest.
Do we wait for the right time or do we stop it here and now?
Oh, I have prepared a few things. They might help.
Okay. Like what?
Oh, I found these bits of bone and embalming wrap and things like that. They're carelessly discarded by Serothos' men, but I felt that there was a magic to them. So I gathered them all up and I buried them around the altar. I think they will help.
Help with what?
There's some magic about them, something that feels entirely different to what Serothos is doing. It must be a good sign. It must be a sign of Mithra.
Well, maybe that's maybe something for you to have a look at.
As does your arrival here. That must be a sign of Mithra. Remember the blessings she spoke back in the temple, the high priestess.
Yeah. I'm not entirely convinced how the remains you found in the tomb are to be aided in not reviving the contents of said tomb.
I think what he's trying to do is he wants to revive the Xhsosath, but he wants to bind him to himself. I think that these remains were, guardians for the underworld, companions, so they might actually strengthen Xhsosath and therefore weaken Serothos.
Are there any people already inside at the site of the ritual?
There were people preparing it, and I think, yes, I think so. I think he brought some slaves as well. I'm not quite sure why, whether he wants to excavate something, but the slaves were not really with it. They seem to have been given Lotus as well. 8 slaves.
You're muted.
You're muted.
Sorry, I didn't want to hear you. I didn't want you to hear me typing. Okay, so I just didn't want you to hear me anymore. It's Turga. How many sorcerers, how many magicians have you seen?
Only one.
And there were 8.
There was a woman, a very strange woman.
Yeah, don't worry about her. So there were 8. There's 8. There's 8 slaves. With this altar, were there kind of 8 points around it?
It is round.
It's
But
round.
I think I've seen sketches. It looked almost like he was drawing an 8-sided diagram around it.
So there's an 8-sided octagon around it. So I turn to Mortaz. I say, Mortaz, have you had a chance to read those scrolls yet?
All impatient.
It's
Speed
not
reading.
time.
Mortaz is going with a tiny little candle there and going, what's
Yeah,
this?"
yeah. That's exactly how I envisioned it.
It's been a bit difficult in this lighting, but
You want to give it a go?
I got a brief summary. What have I read so far?
I want to have a decent law roll from you before I can
Alright.
give any further clues here.
It shouldn't be a problem.
You're good at this.
You're good at this.
Moto's got about 17 in the skill.
You're
One.
really good at this.
Ooh.
It is really hard to make sense of all the scribbles in this poor light, and you haven't had a lot of time. But vaguely, this is some sort of summoning or binding ritual, or both.
What's stopping us just by stepping forward and then taking the sorcerer down
I
with
mean,
cold
that's
steel?
I think that's how it's supposed to be done.
It was a lot easier
But yeah, I remember.
than waiting for a big ceremony and using magic bones and weapons.
Yeah, I just remember from the previous things we discussed. Yeah, the destiny, the reason you're here was to make sure that Xhsosath is brought into the mortal world so he can be killed.
Yeah, okay, good point.
So
So we
that
want to
would
wait
mean
for
you have to wait for the right bit.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. So we just need to lie low until the time. So, Motas, do you need to look at these bones that who was
Oh,
dug
she's
up
buried
and
them.
seen?
She's buried
She's
them
buried
around.
them. She buried them around the.
just outside it. She said. So basically, if you want to make some plans or talk about it a little bit, you have a moment's rest in here. But then, depending on your plan, whether you want to interrupt the ritual at the right moment or do something beforehand.
No, we want to. We actually we really want to disturb this.
It's got to be at the right time, hasn't it? That's the thing. I'd like to. I'd say to people, I'd like to go and just understand the cave, what's where, and then when at least I can sketch out a plan, and then we can think about where we position ourselves.
So you're going to sneak out?
Yeah, it's dangerous, but at the moment we don't know the layout and we don't know where we can hide. If we're
Tyra
prepared,
can
at
draw
least
you a
we can.
little sketch in the sand,
Okay.
but that's not the same as seeing it firsthand.
Yeah, if I can go and have a look, I've got things like perfect memory as well, so I can tray it back to the others really well. But it comes at a risk because I've got to sneak with no momentum.
Go and sneak if you want.
That's
to.
what fortune's for. Yeah.
Yeah,
So is everyone happy for me to do a little bit of stealthing
Sure.
and find out the land, who's out there basically, how many people are involved,
no, I might
places
show
where we could possibly hide.
If you do a good stealth, I'm going to show you the scene, but I'm not going to show it to everybody. So you will have to describe it. Yeah?
Yeah, I'll do this quite a bit. Okay. I'm going to burn a fortune on this because I can't risk getting caught. There we go.
Nice.
Very nice. Very nice indeed. Okay, now I'll see whether I can hop you across onto this scene. And hopefully I've
I'm
configured
thinking
it.
with.
Can you see? You can see, right?
Yeah.
So essentially you find this deeper chamber, which seems to be open to the skies, interestingly enough. And you see, I only put one token on it right now, but you see a group of people moving around here. Off to the side, there are some guards, there are some soldiers. They haven't been sent to defend the camp or whatever it might be. They are here. You see 8 slaves bundled up somewhere. They seem to be in a drunken stupor of some sort.
Sacrificial.
And in the middle, you see a big block, and it's meant to be mostly black, with almost like it's covered in leather, but the leather has been stitched together with golden thread. And there's definitely something going on here.
And the entrance is the southern point.
You come from the southern end here. You snuck in through there.
And scanning for places where we could hide in preparation. There aren't many, are there really?
There are not many.
You'd have to go in to then hide into one of the kind of
the nooks.
Yeah, the nooks and niches.
Yeah, it would be very hard to actually sneak in here while it's being guarded. So, but getting a lay of the land and then, rushing it, I guess, might be Plan B.
And where are the slaves being held?
I'm going to say over there. If I can ping. Why can I not ping now?
Over in the back.
Over there.
Oh, over there. Okay.
Yep. I was on the wrong tool.
And are the slaves being guarded, or are they just kind of like tied up?
There's one guy standing by them, but they're not doing anything. They're just basically sitting there. Very passive.
Okay.
Might have a little bit more of a description, but I don't want to actually spoil it too much for the others.
No, that's fine. No, I think I can see it well enough. Okay, I'll go back to the others and relay what I've seen, and basically say it looks like there's 8 slaves that they're holding there. I'm guessing these are part of a sacrifice that happens at the appropriate time. If we have to wait for the appropriate time, then we accept that the slaves are going to get killed. There's no easy way to hide there. We can approach close by, but then we're just at the southern entrance to this roughly kind of circular cavern, and in the middle of it is this circular sort of ceremonial carving in the ground where what they're doing is what they're going to do.
She nods. Tyra recognizes your description. She says, yes, they've got this stone in the middle, which is like an altar stone. It's covered in some strange black leather.
And the number of guards, Frank. How many were there?
6.
6 guards. And so the 6 guards are spread out a bit. Obviously, one of them's guarding the slaves.
Yeah. Some of them seem to be preparing the side still a little bit, but there were 6 men under weapons. Let's put it that way.
And no sign of a sorcerer.
You didn't see anybody who was matching the description with a beaked mask on or anything like that.
Is there a second way out of it?
I could see no exit. There was a little sort of... Was there a possible exit there?
There seemed to be a bit of a crevasse or something running out the back. You didn't explore how far it would go or whether you could escape that way, but there seemed to be a break in the wall at least.
There was, yeah. So it's hard to know without going in there and wandering around, and that was just too risky.
But essentially, the sorcerer needs to come through the hallway, alley. We came
either
through
this secret way in, if that is one, or past us here.
It is open to the sky as well, if you remember.
Yeah. Unless he flies in from above using his beast of burden.
Or, do you think he could Did he ride one of those bat things way back?
Yeah, I think one just flew in and captured Turia and carried her away.
Akuba reminds you that he was known as a sorcerer who commands bat-winged demons.
So he can probably, let's work on the basis he can probably ride one. So he may well fly in.
And he wears a mask with a beak, which is not a bat, of course.
Tura, do you remember him, like when you were taken away by the bats, these giant bats, or birds, whatever, do you remember seeing him or anybody riding on top of one of those, or were they all birds?
I don't recall. This demon carried me in its claws. I didn't really see its back. Break. Just.
Okay. So I don't know how I don't know how I can do this, but I'd like to try to remember the scene as a character back then to see if
I can do that.
Yeah, or
Perfect memory.
If you mention it to me, I've got perfect memory.
I'm
I can
trying
recall
to
exactly.
see if there's a correlation between the bronze mask and that actually being one of the birds, not commanding it, but actually him being it.
It wasn't really so much a bird. It was like a
Or a
bat
bat,
demon.
yeah.
You don't remember any connection between those.
Okay.
You didn't see a like metal mask of a big man before. Perfect memory cries. You remember just this bat demon coming in and carrying Tyra away. It was not being ridden by anybody.
I don't remember it being ridden. I think I would have made a note of that, and you would have said. But if it has the power to carry Tyra, it has the power to carry a sorcerer on its back.
Okay, so maybe Hekret was the one who caused the sandstorm, because she is a snake of the sand, and so maybe that was her role, perhaps?
She could get into the sand and get the eye.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
And so maybe he's of the air.
I love it.
I wonder, because it's a cabal. This isn't two sorcerers.
You think there's elemental magic here? Like they've got different fields of.
That's where I was thinking. Mortaz, do you remember anything like this? Have you read those things yet?
It's still very difficult to read them.
Try again. Sorry.
How long do we still have until midnight?
You probably have about an hour, you reckon. It's very hard to tell because you're inside a cave, essentially. But probably about an hour. And I would say that is a really good moment to say we can do a cut here and come back next session for the showdown. And it will definitely be the showdown next time.
Awesome.
Makes sense.
Yeah, do you think that's a good moment?
Sounds good. Then we can start right into the action next time.
Yeah, right into the action.
Pretty much. So basically, you've got Akuba with you as well. But other than that, it's you lot plus Tyra. And you are basically saying we want to disrupt this ritual at the right time, rather than stopping it from happening in the first place. Is that right?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's what we set out to do.
Yes. Okay.
But we are accepting the fact that the slaves will probably be sacrificed as part of the ritual.
If I'm not going to be too keen on that, just because having been a slave, I'm going to try to propose something where we can at least try to save them as best we can.
I mean, I'm open to the idea to just, beheading the sorcerer as soon as he shows up, but we will have to contend with him, his magic shenanigans, his bad demons, and the guards.
Yeah.
But he has to come down. He has to come down this path.
No, he flies in from
he flies in.
Central area.
But there's no one else who's going to be coming down. Like, if there are other sorcerers, then they're going to have to come down this way.
And I don't think there are other sorcerers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's hope there's not.
And if there were,
bring them with him.
If there were, you can just axe them down.
I have the stats here for somebody called Toth Amon.
Yeah, that's when he.
I have the stats here for a new character. What a coincidence!
Toth Amon is specified in the Adventures of, in the core book, basically.
Yeah. But does he still only have like 5 wounds?
They've all got Nemesis 5 wounds.
Has he got the Ring of Set?
That's a big discrepancy with this game.
What is?
Like 5 wounds at a max.
Yes and no. There are certain things where you basically can say you're healing yourself, or you have a higher resistance, or you can have spectral shapes and stuff, and be much harder to hurt. But yeah, typically you're right. Five wounds is the max, even for Nemesis character. And for Dezo, causing 5 wounds is like Saturday breakfast.
Yeah, exactly. It's chop 5 wounds.
Chop. Yeah.
Just getting
Next
up and
time is
having a little
Durzo's time
fight.
to shine.
Maybe, but I really loved that scene with Shira and Hagrid. That was really good.
So I have a feeling that there will be a lot of magic shenanigans going on.
There will be magic.
There might be some. I had to look.
I'm
at
gonna
quite
hit
a few
something with my
spells
staff.
for this
Yeah.
preparation. Okay, so I think let's bring this to a close here. We can have a quick chat about a new date. Might actually not be quite as quick because it's not so easy over the next couple of weeks, but we'll see. And I definitely look forward to coming back to this and finishing it off one way or another. Oh, we need at least a couple of heroic deaths, right?
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed it. Definitely more exciting than a shopping episode. So, see you all soon. Bye-bye.